And today I want to share with you a very delicious small pork ribs, covered completely in barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce that was made here at home from scratch. I'm gonna put them in the oven. They're gonna be in there, and when we are done with it, we are ready to enjoy those barbecue ribs. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. My ingredients: I have table salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and I have the homemade barbecue sauce. You already have it on my channel. This barbecue sauce comes out delicious every time. And here I have the small pork ribs with a lot of meat. So you know something, let's get started. Let's make this delicious pork ribs and barbecue in the oven. So let's get started. I am going to start with my pork ribs with the meat. This, I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the sink, and we're gonna go ahead and rinse it very good, piece by piece. You wanna rub it in between your hands, making sure that everything is really nice and clean. The reason that I do it like this is so that you could rub it in between your hands and you get that excessive of the blood out of the meat. Just like this, look, one by one. I know it takes time, but this is a very important step. We do one by one, making sure that we rub them very good. And look at this. I know that this barbecue ribs are gonna come out delicious and soft. Well, now this is completely done, and let's go and start cutting them. Okay, I have my pork ribs here. I have my baking dish here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the barbecue ribs. I'm just going to cut the ribs right in the center, making sure that they fit in my baking dish. So I'm just gonna cut in the half. Some are gonna be small, some are gonna be large. I just want them to really fit into my baking dish. I have my baking dish here, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna start adding the pork ribs, and I'm gonna put them in here. I'm gonna actually put them side by side so that everything cooks evenly and everything will get all the delicious flavors, just like this. What I'm doing at this moment is just organizing this baking dish. We want to make sure that everything really fits on the bottom of the baking dish. Okay, now that I have them like this, I'm going to start by adding my table salt. Just remember that the salt is to taste. So I'm going to add and distribute the salt a little bit at a time until I'm completely done. After this step, I'm adding my black pepper, and I'm doing the same thing. Just sprinkling right on top, making sure that everything gets a little bit of black pepper. I have my garlic powder, and I'm doing the same thing with my hands. I'm going to rub it in between, making sure that everything is coated with the salt, garlic powder, and the black pepper. When this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my homemade barbecue sauce. The homemade barbecue sauce you already have on my channel. So here, let me show it to you. Let me show you how they look. They are nice and coated. And now I am ready to start adding this delicious homemade barbecue. So I'm adding it right on the top. I'm gonna make sure that I cover them completely, that they're really soaked in. What I like about this barbecue sauce, it has a lot of flavor and it's very intense. After we do this step, you want to make sure that you move them around, making sure that all the crevices of the meat are covered with this delicious barbecue sauce. Every time I make barbecue sauce, I try to do it just like this. I'm going to cover it with foil paper. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour so that they marinate, so that they get really nice and delicious. So they're going to the refrigerator and then to the oven. So I'll see you when I'm adding them in the oven. Okay, my oven is at 350. I'm going to go ahead, add my pork ribs in there, making sure I don't get burned. So we're going to go ahead, add it in there, and then I'll see you back in about an hour. Okay, an hour has passed, and let's see how they look. I have a second kitchen outside, and it's nice and hot here in California. So I'm using my outside kitchen to cook these barbecue ribs. Okay, they're nice and boiling. This looks really good and delicious. Now at this point, as you could see, they're really nice and soft. And you could see all the fat that they released. And this is when I'm gonna just take them out of all that fat. I'm gonna put them in another baking dish, just like this. You wanna make sure that you don't use too much of that fat. So what I like to do is do this. I separate it. I go ahead and start adding some more barbecue sauce on the top. The other baking dish, on the blue baking dish, I'm gonna throw the liquid away. We don't want too much oil, too much lard in our food. So this is what I really love to do, so that I have control of how much, fattening my family is eating. So I just try to make sure, and I take all of that out. What you see here, I'm not gonna use. I'm gonna discard it, and I'm gonna put my baking dish again in the oven for about maybe 20 to 30 more minutes. Okay, 30 minutes have passed, and look at these. They are nice and crispy. They look amazing. But let me show you. Let me show you how they look. They look amazing and nice and crispy. Now I am ready to start with my presentation, and I really cannot wait to taste it. They look delicious. I'll see you in a bit. Barbecue ribs. You know that the barbecue, I made it here from scratch, here at home, my recipe, my version, and I know that you guys are really going to love it. This is the part I love, I enjoy, and I really look forward. I can't wait to taste it. I have some veggie rice here that you already have on my channel, but you know something, let me taste this, because this just smells amazing. And as you know, I made it outside in my second kitchen. Oh my gosh, excuse me. My mouth is watering and I know yours is too. Excuse me. Mmm. You know something? The barbecue sauce is so delicious. The barbecue the ribs are so soft, so tender, and they really absorbed all that delicious barbecue. Excuse me. Mmm. Oh my gosh. Really, this came out delicious. I hope, my friends, you could prepare it at home. Cook it now that we are in summer break. The kids are at home. Let's treat our kids with something delicious and something made at home. If you liked and loved my recipe, please don't forget to subscribe, give me thumbs up, share my video on social media so more people get to know Cooking with Gloria. Don't forget to push the notification bell. And if you did already, leave it activated so every time I make a new recipe, yes, you are going to be notified. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. And of course, I will stay enjoying this delicious barbecue ribs. Bye-bye.